can you actually rank your product to page 1 of Amazon without having to use anything except for PPC? Well, you really can, and I'm going to break down everything about that today, how we're gonna do it, what to look out for, what are some red flags of oversaturated markets that cannot be launched to the first page using just PPC, okay? So let's go. Hey, it's me, Karina. Welcome back to my Amazon FBA channel, where I post videos about Amazon FBA, obviously. So the number one question is obviously ranking and how to get to the first page, because if you're not there, then you obviously cannot make the sales, you can't make money, you can't make anything. And ranking is independent from product research, but without good product research and without having a good product, ranking is going to be very difficult, especially in the way of PPC, which is how I like to rank my products. Why do I like to rank my products this way? Because it's a very low investment and there's less risk associated with that. If you know anything about me, you know that I really like to approach this business model from a low risk perception in terms of not ordering really high crazy MOQ like 1,000, and then also not spending money giving most of that MOQ away when you're launching products. I like to go after markets that are low risk, that you can rank really easily with just PPC. There's several ways to approach this. I'm gonna show you one of them now, but they are all low risk. I love low risk so much that I even started the original private label club for private label Amazon FBA sellers. For $7, you can be one of our members and you have access to so many things, such as finding products. I have a product research vault, I have live sessions, I have a product validator form where you can literally get your products validated by me and my team. If you want to check it out, it's theplclub.com, also linked down below. So right now I'm in Helium 10. I'm going to show you how I find these products and how to analyze if it's something that's in a kind of one of those markets or not. So by the way, if you've never used Helium 10, I do have discount codes for this too. Karina50 will give you 50% off the first month. Karina10 will give you 10% off every single month that you're subscribed to this. It's a great software. I use this for product research and for keyword research and everything else, but this is a good indication also to tell you how to rank your product. So let's break this down first. So to rank to the first page, you already know that you need to match the sales velocity of the other sellers. Now the question is, how are you going to do that? If the product is selling $50,000 a month of revenue, you have to match those $50,000 a month of revenue. So how are you going to do that? You have to match the sales. You can either do that with organic sales, slowly but surely, or you can do it with giveaways, which is how people used to do it. Problem with that is it's quite expensive. You give away your inventory, and Amazon really does frown upon it because it's considered a manipulation of your sales rank. So if you do it the honest way, believe it or not, you can still do really well. Now, the cost of that is you might not be going after products that are selling $50,000 a month in revenue. Maybe they're doing $5,000 a month, which is kind of the bare minimum I go for, or 10 or 15. But let's actually get into this, right? I'll show you how. Let's pretend we're doing product research. I'm in the magnet tool, so I'm just going to put in a keyword. I'm going to put, I don't know, cat supplies. It's an interesting niche. Let's see what we get, right? So no matter how you're doing your product research, you always have to do keyword research as well to determine if your product is actually something that's going to sell. Because if you just look at the product market without diving deep and realizing that keywords are very important and they're really going to reflect on how well your product is launched, that's going to lead you to a lot of issues. And I talk in detail about this in the PL Club. Again, that's also very low risk because it's not like crazy expensive or anything. And I show you how to take products through these verification steps, right? But here we are, we put in cat supplies, and it gives us all these words that are also ranking and are similar to this word. So what I like to do is I like to sort it by volume from highest to lowest. So that really gives it popularity to me. And let's say someone is looking at this and they see something like, let's find some, like a litter box, right? Let's say this litter box looks like a good market. It has 90,000 searches right here. It has 904 sales, give or take, in 8 days. So let's do the math. So 904 904 divided by 8, you're selling 113 units a day. You can't see that, but that's a good amount of units, right? Let's say 113 units. If your litter box is like $20, whoops, I lost count. So wait, 904 divided by 8, 113, if it's $20, that means you're selling 2,260 a day of revenue. So this product would be doing about $67,800 a month in sales. Now that sounds good, right? But the thing you have to kind of watch out for is you have to match these numbers right here. You have to give away or sell whatever way 904, this amount, 904 in your giveaways in 8 days, which means you have to, that's like 1 week supply, let alone a month or 2 weeks. That's a lot. That's a big investment for you to match that. You have to invest into inventory, you have to invest into giving these away or however you're gonna do it. But the truth is you won't be able to sell that many sales with just PPC alone because it's such a competitive market. There's not really many other keywords to describe a litter box, so you're going to be spending a lot of money trying to rank for PPC, which is going to be expensive since there's so many other sellers and identical products that are competing for the exact same word. So in order to get to the first page, you're going to have to implement some other strategies besides PPC. In this case, that's going to be impossible because what else are you going to do? Every person that's on the first page has probably been selling for a very, very long time, are very credible, have sales coming in from other avenues. But here you are, a new time seller with less reviews, less sales. You're just simply not going to rank. Although making $67,000 a month of revenue sounds great, but you have to think of it realistically. And the truth is you won't be able to rank. And this is kind of a really, really big question that I get from my students a lot, is they send me these markets into the product validator form and I'm able to kind of nip it in the bud as soon as possible when I see these types of numbers. So we want to avoid that. But how do we actually find products that you can in fact rank with PPC? This is a great strategy. This is one of the methods I use, and it kind of puts keyword research and product research together, which is very, very important. So what you want to do is continue scrolling down and pay attention to the search volume and also the 8-day giveaway, because the search volume right here, the higher it is, it doesn't mean the better it is. Actually, the lower it is, the better it is, especially when it starts to get kind of in these lower numbers, below 15,000, like below 20,000, below 15,000, even below 10,000 is where you find these golden markets, because as you notice, the giveaways also start dropping, or the 8-day approximated sales. So let's take this one, 272 divided by 8. Now you're at 34 a day. So you have to do 34 sales a day in order to match this. Now this market is probably not as popular, but at least you know you will need to match 34 sales. Now that's still a little bit too much. I like to go for something lower. So let's just keep scrolling. Look, 216 divided by 8, that's 27. So we're getting better, and you can still see the search volume is low, but the sales are still there. Sometimes even with really, really low search volume, such as like 3,000 or 5,000, you have to cross-reference the sales, but markets will still be doing really, really well. So you can even go to, or let's look at this, cat window bed. It's interesting. Also pay attention to the key terms too. These are cute. I've seen these on Instagram. Let's look at the market. I think the reviews are gonna be a little high for this, but I just want to use a market as an example. This isn't a product research video. If you want more product research videos, I have an entire playlist. If you want more product research videos, I have an entire playlist on this YouTube channel. I literally have hundreds of videos on this channel. And also, of course, my product research vault in the PL Club has a week brand new videos constantly posted. So you get a week of content. You get a piece of content every single week in the club. So here's the market right here. Really stable sales. Like, this is great. Reviews are too high, right? So if this was low reviews, these would be awesome sales. But you can see that it's still a stable market, even though the search volume is around like 12,000. You don't need to go for products that are like 200,000 or anything like that. Let's look at some other lower ones. I want to see if I can find an example of low search volume but still good sales. Cat bowl. Okay, cat bowl. Let's look at this cat bowl. 6,000 searches, 176 176 divided by 8, that's 22 a day. So that's still a good amount. These are kind of more definitely commodity items. You can see they have crazy reviews, so I don't even really like looking at them. Let me go to page 4 and see what happens. And don't be afraid to kind of stumble onto these words that are low, kind of low volume. Cat litter, misspelled, cat scratch. Let me open this. Okay, so I doubt that this is the main keyword. This is probably something like this, but just for the sake of this video, let's run this. You already know how I emphasize the main keyword and things like that, but you can see there's definitely sales here. You'd want to always double check that this is in fact the main keyword by plugging that back into Magnet or Cerebro if you take a specific ASIN and seeing what are the main words that the product is ranking for, and that's how you determine what the main keyword is, because I don't think this is it, because the sales are just much too high and so are the reviews. But I was just showing you an example. So let's pretend that we are launching this cat scratcher thing, right? This is cute for the cat. You can stick it on, they can scratch the couch, and yeah. So let's pretend we're selling this. So how do we actually get this to page 1? Well, if this hypothetically is the main keyword, where is it? It has 72 sales a day. So that's like less than 10 sales a day. Let's say that's 8 sales a day or something like that. 8 sales a day. Could you attain those sales with PPC? Or maybe by giving a full price giveaway to someone on Facebook or your family or friend if you really want to, if it's safe. Could you attain that number for a few days? Probably. 8 sales from PPC. Let's say you launch it with PPC and you start your auto campaigns, your manual campaigns, some exact match campaigns, all of that. You will eventually start to rank and to start to jump up in the pages. You're maybe not going to be on page 1. You're going to be from page 0 to, from page non-existent to page 12 or page 3 later to page 2. And you're going to start getting ranking juice for other words like cat toys, maybe cat something else, some of the other main keywords from here. And then more customers are going to see you from other words and they're going to purchase. So you're going to have the PPC sales, plus you're going to be picking up on the organic sales. Over time, that's going to add up to 8 sales. And those 8 sales will be sustained for 7 days, let's say. And if they are sustained for 7 or 8 days or a week, Amazon's gonna push you up. So in the time of the 1 or 2 weeks that's happening, you're going to be on the first page for the main keyword. And that's essentially kind of a rundown of how the ranking process works organically with PPC. Obviously, there is the setting up of PPC campaigns and optimizing it and doing keyword research. Perhaps I'll make more videos on that if you really want me to, but I just wanted to break down this kind of clarification situation just because that's a big deal. You don't want to be going after those markets that are doing very high sales, very high numbers, that have very high search volume, just because you're not going to be able to rank. The people that rank for those types of products are people that have a lot of money, that can invest into full price giveaways, which means not only are they giving away their unit, but they're paying someone to buy it, potentially trying to match the reviews of everyone else in a kind of black hat way on Amazon. And most people don't have the money for that, and you already know that I really like it low risk. So if you go for these tiny kind of interesting niches, because there's honestly no way you're gonna rank for the expensive high like all those other items that were doing that much money. And then if you can have 5 of those products or 10 of those products, you can literally hit the exact same numbers as everyone else is hitting, but you're also not putting yourself in risk of saying, okay, what if this product doesn't work? I ordered 1,500 MOQ or 2,000 MOQ, and now you're just stuck there with inventory that no one is buying, and you just lost a lot of money. But this way, you can order a small test order, you can start ranking it with PPC, you can start seeing if you're gonna get sales, and then eventually and slowly, in a few weeks, you're going to get up to the first page, the sales are going to start picking up, and let's say you're doing $5,000 a month of revenue on that one product, multiply that by 2, by 3, by 4, and now you have 20,000, 30,000, and maybe your product exceeds your expectations, and instead of selling 5,000, you're now selling 10 or 15,000. which is great. And then you just rinse and reorder and repeat. So that is going to be it for the ranking strategy and the PPC, specifically the low risk PPC ranking strategy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and do like the button and subscribe, because I post videos here all the time. So I will see you in my next video.